Board of Education charged the administration last year with creating a citizens task force. The task force was convened in November of 2013 and it worked through June of 2014. It essentially had two charges, and the charges are listed on this slide. First charge of the task force: examine enrollment in the Clarence District and determine long-term solutions on school building configurations that maximize fiscal efficiency and educational effectiveness. In other words, is it necessary for us to close a building or do anything different with buildings? Second big charge: examine the capital improvement needs of the district, and if a capital project is necessary, what should the scope of that project be? The Citizens Task Force members are listed on the left-hand side of this slide, and many of them are in the audience tonight, and I want to again publicly thank them for all of their hard work. From the district, we had Mike Fuchs, the board member, Rick Mancuso, the business official, Greg Kaczewski, our athletic director, our former superintendent of buildings and grounds, Jim Andres, and also from Gordon Jones, Scott Jones, and Jeff Nunn that helped us work through this particular process over the months. The task force made some recommendations to the Board of Education in June. I'm just going to very briefly review the recommendations. The first recommendation had to do with enrollment and the number of buildings that we have. And the first recommendation was there is not sufficient enrollment decline at this time to consider closing a school or reconfiguring grade levels in Clarence. In other words, the recommendation is maintain 4 elementary schools with a K-5 configuration in neighborhoods as they are right now. But take a look at the total elementary enrollment. And if the elementary enrollment gets to the magic level of 1,650 kids, reconvene the task force and talk about what might need to happen in terms of consolidation of buildings. This year, in 2014-15, we're at a little over 1,900 kids enrollment for K through 5 elementary. Our projections are even 5 years from now, we will not be at the 1,650 level. We're going to monitor that situation closely. It's dynamic. Our enrollment for 2014-15 is actually larger right now than we had predicted even in the enrollment numbers. So the task force took a look at that one, kind of put it to bed with this particular recommendation. Second recommendation of the task force was, let's do a capital project. And the capital project should be chunked into 2 parts. First part of the capital project, repair and maintenance stuff on our buildings. The precursor for taking a look at the capital project was the building condition survey which Gordon Jones and Associates did and helps us with every 5 years. The building condition survey is supposed to identify those things within the buildings that are in dire need of being fixed. Originally, that was $43.8 million in repairs and maintenance, but the task force knew that they couldn't recommend a project at that level and scope. So they worked over the ensuing months of last year to try to pare it down to the absolute essential things that needed to happen to maintain the buildings properly. Took out the non-essential items from the building and condition survey and came up with a repair and maintenance project of $30.9 million. We get approximately 70% state aid on building projects. So that would be a district investment of $9.3 million in tax levy revenue and a New York State investment of about $21.6 million. That particular tax impact was going to be about $60 per year for 15 years on an average home in Clarence at a $200,000 level. So again, first recommendation was don't touch the buildings. The enrollment is okay, we're going to be fine for 4 or 5 years. Second was do a building condition or do a building repair and maintenance project at $30.9 million level. Third recommendation was have a separate project contingent upon approval of the first that would repurpose and revitalize our athletic fields in the district. That particular project for the athletic fields totaled out at $5 million. The tax levy from the community would be about $1.5 million over 15 years. We could leverage that to $3.5 million in state aid. The task force recommended that the athletic project be contingent on the successful passage of the repair and maintenance project. In other words, the repair and maintenance project would be one resolution for vote. The second, the athletics by itself could not pass. It can only pass if the repair and maintenance project passes. That would be about an $8.50 annual charge for taxes as an increase on